Hey everyone, it's Meridian. Please forgive me for my voice or if I cough or otherwise speak roughly. I'm in an on again, off again battle with smoking, and I'm on again right now. And I hadn't smoked for about 2 weeks, so things had started to heal up, and then I went back to smoking, and oh my god, my voice is so shot. Ugh, this is gonna be bad. Anyway, today I wanted to talk a little bit about suburban witchcraft and the unique challenges that presents for suburban witches. I really, if you're, usually you're cohabitating with someone, whether it's with your family or friends or a roommate. I know that it can be really frustrating to live somewhere and live with people who do not get it. People who judge or would judge if you're not out of the broom closet yet. People who you just don't feel comfortable opening up about that to. And that's fine. I am not here to push anyone to come out of the broom closet. I am in the broom closet right now because that's just the safest thing for me right now. Where I live is suburbia, but technically in the South. And a lot of people really see it as really weird, or they haven't heard of, are not aware that there are modern witches. And people can be judgmental, and I sympathize, and I'm really sorry if you're going through that. But I want you to know you can still practice. I promise you. Now, one of the challenges that I face is that I live in an apartment complex, which means I'm on the third floor, so I can't have an herb garden. Really wish I could, but nowhere in my apartment gets much sun, so down with that. And also I live around a lot of people, which means I can't be wandering out to the backyard in the middle of the night to worship the moon goddess or whatever I'm doing. A lot of it is in my room. And, for me, it kind of works. It's the fourth power of the Sphinx to be silent. I don't mind that I'm in the broom closet because this is something that is so personal to me. I'm only comfortable really sharing it with the internet and the witchy community online. I know that there will be nastiness because this is YouTube after all. There will be nastiness over on my Tumblr. But, it's worth it to me. I really like being part of the online witch community. I've learned so much. I've met the most wonderful people online, and it's wonderful to have that community. So I want to kind of open up the floor for other suburban witches to talk about their struggles. So if you are I can't talk. If you are a suburban witch, please put some of your experience down in the comment section. I would love to read it. Really, I love networking with people who are going through the same things I'm going through, or can offer advice, or I can offer them advice. I just kind of want to open the floor. I also wanted to talk about resources for witchcraft in suburbia. Now, this is all assuming you cannot get to a metaphysical or witchcraft type store. There's one in my area, but I can't get there on the bus, or at least I haven't figured out how yet. I'd really love to go there. I went there when I was much younger, and everyone was so wonderful. And it was a great resource. But frankly, that's just not an option for me right now. So I have found the greatest resource, and you will laugh. It's Michael's craft store. Craft stores are full of, terrible pun, tools of the craft. We call it the craft, maybe for a reason. We can go to the craft stores. Yeah, that was terrible. So I go to Michael's, a craft store near me. Mine is in Northern Virginia, which I've said before. Sorry. And I've found the greatest things there, especially because it's like Halloween time. Well, Halloween for everybody else. There's been black candles. There's been, witchy things. Part of I think surviving and practicing and enjoying my practice as a suburban witch is that it's kind of an adventure to find what I need. Um, and I love going to Michael's, and I can spend hours there just pouring through so many supplies and so many things that I could use in my craft. It's not just candles. There's so many different things that you can use. Also for herbs, which I do work with a little. Like, I'm kind of new at the herbology. I'm pretty sure that's the wrong word, but that's what came to mind. I'm very new with herbs, but I really like working with them, and I found the greatest resource. If you don't want to spend $10 on each little bottle from the grocery store, I found a little market where they sell little bags of herbs. And I got lavender, I got rosemary, I got cinnamon sticks. And this is just this little tiny family-run market where everything is in Spanish first and then in English in little letters, which is kind of cool. So that's where I get my herbs. I've also gone to dollar stores and little junk shops, and I found the greatest things. My offering tray on my altar is an ashtray. It was never used as an ashtray. I wouldn't do that. But it's just a little glass dish that I got for $1 at the dollar store. There's also a lot of resources if you suburbia. Sometimes you have some wilderness, sometimes you don't. But you can definitely go walk in the woods. That can be a spiritual practice in itself. Even when I was much younger, before I knew anything about witchcraft, I found my connection with the core energy of the universe, deity, if you will, in nature. My parents are nature nuts, and they, took me hiking from the time I was 2. Pretty much as soon as I could walk, I was expected to go hiking. They carried me a lot, but yeah, I absolutely, I feel very spiritual just walking through the woods, just walking around where there's trees. I found some great supplies, like decorations for my altar. Everything comes from the woods, and it's just whatever we have at that time of year. A lot of it is playing to the time of year. So like around Halloween, around late October, I actually recommend buying your Halloween-y stuff like a couple days into November, because that's when everything gets really cheap. You can find the greatest little things, and I've spent a lot of money in the past few weeks on it, unfortunately. Also, I want to mention internet stores, whichever your choice is. I use Amazon, and I probably should have a Prime account for how much shipping I pay. I got half the stuff on my altar is from Amazon. My athame is from Amazon. And my little, this finally came in the mail from China, and I absolutely love it. It's probably the same one that everyone else who goes on Amazon has bought, but I love it. It's very special to me. I tend to wear it under my clothes so that nobody knows. And that's up to you. I know that some books say you can't wear it on the outside. You have to keep it close to you and under your clothes, and you need to keep it a secret. Do what's good for you. Come out of the broom closet if it's safe, if you feel you can and you're ready to have those conversations with people. And if you don't feel safe, don't. It's okay to practice secretly. And that's what I do, pretty much. Nobody knows, except you all. But, you don't really need a whole lot of accoutrements to practice witchcraft. One book I read said all you really need is your breath. And if you're deaf, if you use sign language, all you need is your hands and your face. You don't need to have a lot of accoutrements. I know I'm always going on about that, and I'm such a hypocrite because I have so many accoutrements. I like having tools and candles and decorations. They just help me to get into that zone of practicing and connecting with deity. So that's kind of my thoughts on being a suburban witch. If you have questions, if you need advice, or if you want to offer feedback, put them down in the comment section below. Don't forget to hit subscribe and like and rate and and I have a Twitter now. FYI, Twitter at Meridian Ray, spelled the same way that's in my name. Yeah, that's what I've got today. I hope you got something out of this, and I will see you all soon. I wish you abundant blessings. Bye.